Good morning. My name is Paul Spadaro. I'm president of the Magathie River Association. And this morning, volunteers from MRA will give you an update concerning the status of Mount Misery. As you recall, there is a project to build 2 homes on top of a hilltop that's called Mount Misery in Severna Park.
In July of 2020, variances were approved on both lots by the county, despite the fact that steep slopes greater than 15% would be disturbed, the potential for historical significance during the Civil War, and concerns by neighbors regarding runoff, mudslides, and the impact to the environment.
The issue of steep slopes was not addressed properly. This model that I've produced shows the difference between a 2-dimensional site plan and a 3-dimensional site plan. In this particular case, the variance hearing officer was only told that slopes were greater than 15%. But my model demonstrates that on the Severn River side, the slope is 55%, and on the Magathie River side, where the driveway is to be built, is 34%. Extremely different than the 15%.
By January 6, 2022, or the deadline, the builder did not have a grading permit, let alone a building permit on the other lot, Lot 390. In March, therefore, the county denied the builder's request for variance extensions on either lot.
In the meantime, the Magathie River volunteers have uncovered some important historic facts that link the hilltop to the actual Civil War site called Fort Gray. On the builder's site plan, they make reference to the actual 2 lots and basically say that concerning those 2 lots on the top of the hill, that there's no historic items that were found or to be reported. In February 2021, they actually went out and they found this musket ball within a few minutes of searching around the hilltop. Now, this musket ball from the county's report is a 0.69-inch musket ball. It's very significant that they found it on top of the hill, is it belongs to this Springfield musket, this weapon that was issued to the troops that were on Mount Misery. We have documentation from the Library of Congress that these particular rifles were issued to Colonel Lyons, the commanding officer on top of the hill, in April of 1861. Another piece of documentation we found was that there were 2 6-pound cannons that were deployed on top of Mount Misery, and this is an example of a 6-pound cannonball.
MRA volunteers have also found letters home written by soldiers who were stationed on top of Mount Misery. Several of these letters were published in the New York Times, and we have found this documentation in the Library of Congress. In this letter, a soldier from the 8th Regiment stationed on Fort Gray writes, "A detachment of our regiment, numbering about 200 men, are here engaged in throwing up an embankment on top of a high hill, which commands a view of the surrounding country. It is on the road from Annapolis to Baltimore. Our duty is to watch and guard this portion of the road to Washington. We have 2 6-pound field pieces mounted on the hill, and we are hard at work digging and picking to more strongly fortify ourselves. Our men are about worked out." This is just another example of the documentation and evidence we have found supporting that Mount Misery is a significant Civil War site.
The builder has appealed the county's decision not to grant the variances. There is an upcoming hearing on September the 14th. We need your help to continue the fight. Here's what you can do to help us. Come to the hearing on September the 14th, email the Board of Appeals, and email the Cultural Resources to get Mount Misery listed as an historic site.